Hey guys, how are we? I thought it was a brilliant time. A lot of you guys are really enjoying the Rolex videos, and I'm glad that it's something that we can share together that we both like. Basically, I thought it would be a good time, just because I'm not doing a lot in Singapore as far as like footage, to give you a bit of a rundown. I mean, if you own one, this is probably a good bit of information. If you're looking at buying one, this is probably good information, just for the fact that you know that there's other costs involved in owning a Rolex. Not a lot, but it's more of a preventative measure more than anything. So in this video, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown on servicing costs for Rolexes. This is across the board: Datejust, Submariners, GMTs, Yachtmasters. Doesn't matter what it is. The servicing cost is generally always the same, from like your older models to your new models. Year doesn't necessarily matter. I mean, this isn't going to cover the cost of breakages. This is only like a servicing, like an oil change for a car, a preventative thing. So they do say, basically, with a Rolex, that you should be servicing the watch every 5 years. And when I say servicing, that means you take it to a Rolex service center or an authorized guy to basically pull it apart. They pull down the actual mechanism inside, the gearing, and they basically pull the key components out that obviously move, and they re-oil them. Tiny, minute amount of oil, but basically they put a tiny little dab of oil on all these components, and it keeps the watch like in working order and fresh. There is specific viscosities to key components in there that have to be done properly. So if you're not taking to a guy that knows what they're doing, they can actually damage the watch. So I thought I would run you through, because I basically have to go to the Rolex service center myself. I'll show you a couple of cool watches that I actually have at the moment in my possession. So I'm a bit of a Datejust guy. I don't know if you guys like him. I dabble in these a little bit. I will put a link in the description to my Facebook page, family sort of thing that we do for watches. So we do dabble in the Rolex brand a little bit, mainly in these guys because we know the most about them. We've been doing these for a long time, so we know what to look out for, authenticity, what to look for as far as good condition ones. So these are a little bit later model Datejust with the bigger diamond set. So I'm actually going to take these to a Rolex service center, and that's what sort of got me thinking I wouldn't mind sharing it with you guys. So if you are going to get one, it's always good to service every 5 years. So Datejust I'm just taking here because for one, I am in Singapore at the moment, so I thought I'd bring the watches with me, because there is well, I think it's one of the biggest service centers in the world, I think. Don't quote me. So I'm actually going to head there because I'm going to get them to check over the watches. They do this. So you've got an option, guys. If you've got a Rolex and you're kind of worried or you want to know, they do check them. So you can take them to the Rolex service center and get them checked and go, hey, I'm looking at getting a service done. Do you think it needs it? It is a day turnaround time, so you have to drop the watch off for you. There is a cost. It's just a bit over $100 to check the watch out. They'll go through the watch and they'll say, look, the mechanism's running dry, which means basically it needs to be serviced. All the components have to be lubed up. A general service cost, and it's just a bit over or just a bit under, it's around $1,000 to $1,100 to get that service. But like I said, this is every 5 years. They don't break, they're not going to stop, but like I said, it's a preventative measure. If you're going to keep this watch forever, it's maybe something that you want to do, but then again, you might get it checked and they say, look, the watch is running fine. So, you know, you could look at doing it in a couple years. I don't think I can film in the Rolex service center. I think they told us, well, not told us off, but when we went there before to get some serviced, we weren't allowed to take photos. So I guarantee I'm not allowed to do any filming. I'll get a little bit of Singapore for you, a bit of bonus footage for people that enjoy that, and I'll show you the outside of the service center. I'll actually throw the details up for the service center either in here or in the description. So that will give you basically where to go. I mean, you don't have to come to Singapore to service them, but hey, I'm here. If people are going to Singapore holidays and you got watches, or you know, you're thinking you might come here because you're close, who knows? I also thought basically this might be a bit of a run for the people interested in the Rolex stuff as well. I might, because I enjoy watches. I haven't shared that with everybody. I don't think I've shared it on the channel that much. It's not about having an expensive taste. As a kid, I've always loved Rolex watches. It's always been a goal for me to own them, and I now have an opportunity to basically enjoy them. I do, you know, move them on a little bit too. Like I said, if you're interested in any of the watches that you see, I can always put a description. If you like that sort of thing, or you're interested in buying one, help you guys out. But I've always enjoyed them. So that's why it's part of the channel. I'm obviously going to put stuff that I enjoy on here, and if you enjoy it, it's a bonus for me to share. So I thought, you know what, I'll make a little bit of a series of the Rolex stuff too for the guys that are interested. The next one, we can go over the date just a little bit if you're interested in that model. I can show you what to look out for, you know, just a few bits and pieces about the watch information wise, as far as years, serial number stuff, you know, stuff that you're going to enjoy. So I might do a bit of that as well. So look out for that. I always put Rolex in the description, guys, if you're interested in the Rolex stuff. So the next one will probably be back at home in Australia, where we'll go over the watches themselves. I'll show you guys, you know, what they are, what makes a good watch, why the prices are so variant, as well as why I'll show you there's a very good reason why there's cheap ones, and there's a very good reason why there is reasonably well priced ones. And people are not understanding why they're paying that little bit more, but I'll definitely tell you why I pay that little bit more. So we'll do that one in the next video. But we gotta go. Let's go do this. Whoa, look at the fog. I am outside, guys, and as soon as I put it on, you would have seen it, the lens just fogged up. That's how much humidity is here in Singapore. It's crazy. I'm from Australia, so it's pretty dry. When it's like you know, all the time it's not tropical, and I can't deal with the humidity. I reckon you're fogging up right now. Let me have a look. Yep, you are. See what I mean? This is nuts. YouTubers in Singapore, how do you prevent your lens from fogging up? Like, it's literally fogging up every time. Look, that's crazy. That's crazy. Look at that. I gotta help you guys out every 10 seconds. So basically, Uber is awesome here. I'm not doing it because I'm paid by Uber, but it's like $5. Like, Singapore is so small. I'm paying like $5 to go from my hotel to the Rolex service center. That's amazing. Crazy. Australia is just so much more expensive. But, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do about you guys in this fog. Rolex service center, guys, Singapore. Alright, so we're done at Rolex. Basically, you drop them off. I couldn't film in there, you're not allowed to film in there. They basically give you a receipt as proof. Basically, that covers, it's kind of like a check to its authenticity, because they go through the watch first. They check all the serial numbers, matching everything. So if you're buying a watch, even if it comes with the paperwork saying, you know, it's been checked by Rolex, this is enough proof for anybody when buying a watch. They go over it. So the authenticity papers aren't really important to get from factory. I mean, some people are funny, some people want them, but I'm telling you right now, on some of the watches that we do, this is proof in itself. It's just basically them going over it. They check the movement, they check everything's going on. They give you a full report. So if you're buying a watch and it comes with one from a service center, you're set. It's just as good. It's good as gold. So I thought you'd fill you in, you guys. So when you're buying a watch, don't worry about the paperwork so much. It's just like an added bonus. You get it checked here, like we do, you're going to be fine. It's just as good. So a bit of information. So these guys actually do the turnaround in like a couple hours. So we should see these watches back pretty much today. So if you're getting them done and you're only like somewhere in a service center for a certain amount of time, don't worry, you'll get them back the same day. What's a day without getting some food? Tris doesn't mind being in my vlog, mate. Hey, Tris.
We're going to spend some Singapore.
Singapore. Highly recommend if you're here, guys. Korean fried chicken. It's awesome. I'll show you what we get. There's Tris. Do you like his hat? You guys like his hat? You just couldn't eat hat. Lakers.
I'm a Lakers fan.
Yeah, Lakers fan. I actually did pick up another date just as well, guys. Well, see, I couldn't help myself. I'll show you that one at the end of the video this time. I promise. I didn't show you guys last time, but I'll show you that one that I picked up. But we are starving, so let's get some food. 4 fingers, try it out.
What? Oh, this is gonna bust as well.
Oh yeah.
Rolex is ready, up good. Hello.
Digging it, guys. I'm eating it. It is so warm out there. Like I obviously filmed before and it got all foggy and you couldn't see what was going on. It is useless trying to do any sort of filming out there. Every time that lens just fogs up, so it was almost a complete waste of time. So we obviously went for around the day. It doesn't take long to get the watches back as well. Generally they can get it back to you the same day if you drop them off in the morning. So it took a couple hours obviously to get them all looked at and serviced up. So the servicing prices, like I said, yeah, I was going to run that through with you. So basically, it really depends on what comes back with the watch. So anything in good condition generally is going to be what they call a complete overhaul. So that is Rolex's complete service, let's just say that. So that consists of obviously pulling down the movement, lubing all the parts, like I said, and generally replacing the hands is a common thing with that. They don't put the old hands back on, so that's why it's quite costly. So you'll generally see, I don't have the paperwork on me, they kind of take that back. You do get a receipt. So $798 is for the complete overhaul, so that's your watch service per se. And basically you're looking at $110 for the hands. So they remove the hands when they do the actual service, so that's part of it. So it's generally going to be for any Rolex around the $1,000 mark to service. Now this doesn't include if anything is wrong with the watch, so they generally will recommend certain things. So let's just say your crystal has a small chip in it. It's not a must, but Rolex go to the extra measure of, you know, they're obviously going to tell you to do everything that they possibly can. So, but generally, yeah, you're looking around the 1,000, and so it can go up from there depending on what happens. So, you know, let's give you an example. If your face is faded, they'll basically, even if it's an old date just, they upgrade it to like the newer model, the newer style with the bigger diamonds. That basically runs you about a $2,000 cost to replace just the face. So, you know, your quote could go from 1 to 3,000 pretty quickly. If you want to go to a second party that's, you know, authorized, another watchmaker, look, sometimes they only run you about $300 to do the same service. So by all means, you can definitely do it. It's not out of the question. And again, that's going to be plus parts. That would be a general overhaul. So pull down the movement, lube, put back together, test, back to you for about $300. And I did promise, I did pick up a date just today, just the one that I would share this time. Last time I didn't share, so this time I will. So what do we got? I'm gonna flip you guys around. So it's a late model date just, so I've got a bit of glare going on there. Is it gonna zoom for me? Is it gonna zoom? Come on guys, autofocus. Macro. So this is a late model, so obviously you can tell this by the biggest stone set and diamonds, and it doesn't have any pins. So I was quite fond of this one. Maybe not everyone's cup of tea. I'm a date just kind of guy. It is a two-tone as well. It's a very nice watch. I saw it and I kind of had to have it. So yeah, really, really nice. Box and papers as well, guys. That's also a plus when you're buying them. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that one. This time I shared. You guys were upset I didn't share last time. This time I did share. So hopefully you're not too angry with me this time. I'm probably not going to add any F1 stuff into this video, but if you guys just watch the channel generally and you generally watch my stuff, I am going to do something for F1 separately. So yeah, if you're interested, by all means, wait for those videos. It's going to be pretty cool. But for now, we're done. If you got any questions, guys, anything I didn't really cover in full, I generally keep up with the comments fairly well. I do answer pretty much everyone. If you have a look in the comments, you'll see an answer from me, and I'll always do my best to do that. Obviously, the channel's growing and everything too, so it's getting a little bit harder. We're not massive, but I'll answer everything I can. So if you got some questions, if I didn't cover something, by all means, don't dislike the video. I mean, you can if you want to, but write them down. I'm happy to answer them. I can't think of everything. I will get to them if I can, as soon as I can. But hopefully that helps someone as far as information. But for now, guys, we are done. So as always, thanks for watching, guys.